It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show.
Welcome to the Dep Lewis Show, episode 111. This is your host, Dep Lewis, and today is Sunday, January 12th, 2025. A great day for a podcast about video games and more. And that is what I'm here to do. So I hope you're doing great out there in the world, wherever you may be, whenever this may be, that you are listening to this. And just thank you for being here. Hope you're having a great day and hope things get even better for you. So the first order of business is to ask you to follow Dep Lewis Show everywhere. Full episodes of Dep Lewis Show available anywhere you can find a podcast. So find the best place to subscribe and listen weekly. Places like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, YouTube, Amazon Music, and more. Twitch.tv/DepLewisShow is a great place to follow. If you'd like to support the show even further than just listening, Patreon.com/DepLewisShow is available if you would like to subscribe monthly. Also, Venmo at Dep Lewis Show is available any day, anytime, for any amount if you would like to support the show. So for today's show, as always, we're going to have three sections. The first section, I'll tell you about what video games I've been playing, what's going on in my video game life. And the mid section, which is not mid in quality, it's just the middle of the show, is where I tell you about what's going on around the video game world. So all the news, releases, rumors, speculations, I guess there sometimes are speculations, sales, things like that. Everything you need to know that's happened during the week or that you might need to know going forward is in the mid section of this show every week. So that is, that's what you need to come here for, minus just some other ramblings. And then the third section of the show is the final section. The third section, the miscellaneous talk section, where I can talk about anything I want to outside of the video game world. And that's where I usually talk about the worldwide world of sports and tell you what's going on with my favorite teams. I usually tell you about what's going on with the Carolina Panthers and who they're about to play today, but their season, spoiler alert, is over. So very hard to imagine that the Carolina Panthers aren't in the playoffs, that they aren't in the Super Bowl hunt, because they've just been such a dominant team for so long. So it's a tough day, but have to wait till next year to watch Bryce Young, my new favorite Carolina Panther, ball out. All right. But let's get into the video games. So this is a new year to be playing some video games. So what a great time. And let me tell you about what's been going on with my new year video gaming. So I've been playing some hangovers from last year still. I'm playing some Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm still in the Junon region. I think I'm in chapter 4 or 5 of this game. And when I played this week, I was really just kind of meandering around and enjoying it. So picking up some side missions, completing some of those, just wandering around, getting some outposts, and searching around and just enjoying walking around as Cloud and hanging out with Tifa and the other characters that are pretty cool, and enjoying some Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. This is a game I want to complete at some point, and I am just making the slowest of slow progress, but it took me a while to complete Remake, so I am going on the same trajectory here with Rebirth. But I'm really loving this game and just trying to enjoy it all. It's a really great game, and I guess we're not going to get the third entry into the series for a couple years at least, or many years, so plenty of time to enjoy this one. Another game I am playing that I've been playing for a little while now is Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, and I'm loving this game. I'm making my way into Hooktail Castle. I think I've gotten to like the first save point in Hooktail Castle, so making some progress there, fighting the enemies, figuring out what to do, figuring out the different strategies in the battle, which is extremely fun. This game is one that's worthwhile to listen to the music and all the sounds and everything. I've been realizing that more with games recently, that's an important aspect, not always to be listening to a podcast, even though I do recommend podcasts a lot, and this one especially. But sometimes these games have some great stuff going on that's worthy of being enjoyed. And Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is an extremely fun video game, and I'm trying to think, I'm rolling around with Koops and hitting stuff with this shell and picking things up, and I like being able to switch. I think it's Goombella, that's my other squad mate, and it's fun to be able to switch between them, and they have different abilities. And then the fighting is actually really fun. And then the game just looks beautiful every time you're walking around the overworld. So it's a pretty killer combination of a game. And Paper Mario Thousand Year Door has been very fun. And that's something else that I want to complete. So a couple things I'm trying to complete this year. I guess that's a little bit of a plan. And then something else I picked up playing this week that I just need to play more of because I love these games, Tony Hawk 1 and 2. So playing the Tony Hawk 1+2 collection. I have an amazing time with this, just playing through the campaign with different characters, and I've been playing with Tony Hawk in this most recent one, so amazing game. I'm actually playing it on the PlayStation now. I picked up a physical copy that was pretty cheap, so I'm just playing the base version with no next-gen upgrades, and I gotta say, doing the research there, I don't think you need to pay for the extra $10 or pay for the $50 bundle package to get the next gen version. I think the PS4 version or the Xbox One version looks perfectly fine. Whatever upgrades these newer consoles are doing to it already make the game extremely enjoyable. So I thought about, hey, okay, I'll just pay the $10 and upgrade this. But then I played it first, and I don't really see any reason to upgrade it. So that's been nice. I've just been playing it on a new platform, so I'm redoing all the story stuff. I haven't even created a character yet to do that, but just gonna play some Tony Hawk. It's a great game to play while listening to a podcast. That's a good maybe that's a good video game category to track for next year for the Dep Lewis Show Awards. Favorite video game to play while listening to a podcast. I think that's a good idea. I need to bank that in the stash right there. So Tony Hawk 1+2, I've been playing that collection. Highly recommend it. It's very inexpensive these days. It's on sale digitally as well. And I would say don't worry about the upgrade. If you're worried about it, get it on the cheap, and I think that you'll be happy enough. So that's what I've been playing. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, Tony Hawk 1+2, and I have some other gaming plans. So I said last week, the last 2 years on this show, I've done a year of the blank, like a theme of the year for what video games I'm going to focus on. I'm thinking for this year I was going to do year of the backlog, but I'm gonna retire that for the time being. I don't know if I want to have a focus on something. I think I just want to have kind of a general backlog in general that of games I'm trying to complete. So I'm going to see how that works. If I want to really focus on a year of something this year, I will definitely update that and let you know. But I think I'm just going to erase that for this year. I'm just going to have a freebie year out here on the loose. Just try to complete some games and have a little bit of structure, but just the most minimal for myself, and really just kind of focus on the news of this show, and then telling you a little bit about what's going on with me, since it might not be the most interesting thing. I'm just kind of hopping from game to game, trying new things, and playing in kind of random order over here. But I do want to complete some things. So year of the backlog or not, I have a short backlog that I want to focus on somewhat. Super Mario RPG, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, Metroid Prime, Mario Sunshine, Uncharted 4, Witcher 3, Metal Gear Solid 5, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and then the last line item in this gaming plans is to complete a Zelda game. So I think if I could do a few of these things on this list, I would be a happier video gamer. I would feel proud and satisfied I was able to complete some of these games. So that's what my plan is to do. So I love Metal Gear 4, never completed 5, played some of it. Rebirth I'm playing through right now. Paper Mario Thousand Year Door I'm playing through right now. Super Mario RPG I'm almost done with that game. Metroid Prime I just would like to play that game because I hear how great it is. Mario Sunshine played a lot, never completed. Uncharted 4 tried a couple times, never completed. I played Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 and completed them all, so that's one that's left in the lineup there. Witcher 3, just an amazing game, tried it a couple times. I'm farther than I've ever been in that right now, so it's something I would like to complete. Has a cool story. I would love to play Witcher 4 at some point when that comes out. And then complete a Zelda game. That's the perennial monkey on my back, is complete a Zelda game. And if you listen to this podcast over the years, you know that I've never completed a Zelda game, and I've tried a few of them. Even one of them has won Game of the Year for me, and I kind of stand by that because it's an amazing game. And I played a lot of it, but I've never completed a Zelda game. And that's something I need to do as a video gamer, especially just a video gamer who likes Zelda so much, but I've never completed one. So I think I'm just going to bring that up each week, unless I want to designate a year of the blank. But my gaming plans are going to be to have this backlog and then to complete a Zelda game. So, in this first section of the show, that is how you follow along with what's going on with me in the video game world. So that's going to wrap up this first section of the show. And we're going to come back to the midsection where I tell you about what's going on around the video game world. There's a whole lot of information this week. There's some good rumors, and there's just some other good, good releases and news and information, all sorts of stuff. So the midsection is going to be a good ride, a wild ride, an informative ride, and hopefully a fun one. So come back for the midsection after this music. Welcome back to the midsection of Dep Lewis Show, episode 111. This is where I tell you about what's going on around the video game world, everything you need to know. So we're going to start this one off with the thing everyone is clamoring for, including myself, and that is Nintendo Switch 2. Whatever the sequel to the Switch is going to be. The rumors are hot. The rumor mill is working out there. Last week we got the third-party peripheral that Genki was making. Genki was showing off at CES 2025. A company called Genki was showing off like a case for the Nintendo Switch, and they were saying they had, I don't know, they were kind of vague about it, but they were showing this off. Everyone's like, hey, well, how are they showing this off? This seems, if they were given the design specs of the Nintendo Switch and were making these accessories for it, You think there would be some legal way that would keep them quiet to not talk about it. And they're out here at CES just showing it off. And they were inviting IGN to take pictures of it and things like that. So definitely causing a media stir. And they had to know that that was going to happen. I mean, I think they're claiming they didn't think it would. But that doesn't seem very, very honest. It seems like this was some very good promo for Genki. I've never really heard about them, and I'm talking about them now. So, at least somebody on the marketing team might be getting a raise over there. But now the rumor is that Nintendo has gone and talked to them, and Nintendo is saying that the gaming hardware that Genki is claiming to be Nintendo hardware at CES is unofficial and was not provided to the company by Nintendo. So I think Genki has also come out and kind of said they built these mock-ups based on the rumored specs that are out there in the world. So it's really getting kind of murky out there. All these rumored specs people are kind of agreeing that they're true, and that's kind of what Genki did here, which I don't know if it's the worst idea. If you're just kind of taking speculation out there, maybe, I don't know, but somebody's got to know something out there. This thing really is going to be announced soon would be my call. And then there's a rumor flying that it's going to be announced on the 17th of January. So that would be in the upcoming week. But that's just, something I read online. None of this is verified. Nintendo has said nothing. Nintendo has really only officially said in like an investor call they were going to tell us they're going to announce it by the end of March of this year. So that's all we really know. But the block is hot out here with the Nintendo Switch rumors. There's other ones flying around like Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth are going to come to it. Halo Master Chief Collection, Microsoft Flight Simulator. One person was also saying maybe there's going to be an OLED option on this sequel that's coming out to the Switch 2. So I'm really liking the way all the rumors are going, but I would love to get this thing announced. I'm kind of preparing that I'm going to want to buy one of these this year already. People are saying it's going to launch with a new Mario Kart, a new 3D Mario. It's going to have a remastered Breath of the Wild. It's going to have Red Dead on it. There's all sorts of rumors out there flying around. Elden Ring's going to be on it. Every single game anywhere is going to be on it. So there's a big question of what it's going to run. And a lot of these leaks of the specs, if they're true, I think a good point is we still don't know the software. And that's the most important thing. We don't know about some of the online stuff. We don't know if it's going to have achievements. We don't know if the friend stuff's going to be updated. And, back to the software, that's the most important thing everyone wants. Everyone wants new games, exclusive games that you want to be able to buy this for. And then you want to know other things that are going to be running on it. Is it going to, the backwards compatibility is a big one. Is it going to automatically upgrade some of these old games just based on the hardware having more capabilities? These are important things that only really Nintendo, I guess, is going to be able to answer or want to answer. But there's still some really big questions out there. So a lot of these specs and rumors, if they're true, there's still a lot that we don't know. So I would love to get the hardcore facts from Nintendo. And that's what I'm hoping for. So maybe we're going to get that info soon. And the upcoming week sounds really great to me to get this information. And I will have a blast looking it all over and talking about it on the podcast here. And maybe I'll even do if they have some type of direct or something like that, I might possibly start doing like talkovers or listen-overs. Or I'll like record myself, record myself, listening to it and telling you what I think about it in real time. It might be kind of a fun thing to do. It's something I enjoy watching of other people and something I've thought about doing. So we will see. Switch 2 rumors are hot. Nothing official out there at all. But it seems like the announcement of the Switch 2 is imminent. So Nintendo decided, in other news, to announce a console, but it's a Lego version of a console. They have announced Lego Game Boy. This will release in October of 2025, so going to be a pretty hot holiday season item would be my guess, and going to sell very well to children and adults alike. There was a short trailer announcing this. It is similar to the Lego Nintendo Entertainment System that arrived in 2024. That is extremely cool. A great display piece for a video game room or some type of like video game museum or something. It's just like a really, really cool looking thing if you like to display stuff around like that. But it's very, very interesting, and it'll be cool to see this Game Boy one. And this is a like a money printing idea right here for Lego and Nintendo to mix these things together, because just really cool. And I'm not even someone who's into Legos or Lego, but I say Lego to this idea, and that's a very, very good idea. So Lego Game Boy coming in October 2025. I don't know if these things are hard to get or not, but go check the internet if you're really excited about that. You possibly pre-order one would be my guess. All right. A worthwhile game of the year from 2 years ago, Splatoon 3 on the Dep Lewis Show, has their Frosty Fest, Splatfest going on this weekend. I just want to remind you of that. I had some intentions of playing in the Splatfest, but I just have not done so. But it's going on right now if you're listening in real time. If you listen to this podcast today in real time, you might still have some time to get in on the Splatfest. And the decision is, what would make you happiest? Money, experiences, or presents? I think I decided I would be in the money camp just because that can allow you to buy experiences and presents. It's a little bit of a cheat code there. It gives you the option to kind of do what you want with it. And I would say that's probably going to be the highest option. So we're going to see who's fighting for what. I like to follow along with these Splatfests and see who wins. And I'll report back next week to you most likely of who won the Splatfest that is going on this weekend right now in Splatoon 3, or a Frosty Fest as they call it, since it's the winter months here in the United States of America. So what would make you happiest, money, experience, or presents? That is the existential question that Splatoon 3 is asking you in this current Frosty Fest. So go play some Splatoon 3. It's an outstanding, wonderful, fun, exciting, amazing video game. Really love some Splatoon 3. All right, more news. What else I got for you? This next bit of news, is not funny, but I am laughing because it's just hard to believe sometimes. Assassin's Creed Shadows has now been delayed again, but it's only been delayed a month. So now releases on March 20th, 2025 instead of February 14th, 2025. So your Valentine's days are safe out there. You don't have to worry about playing an assassin video game. You can, just romance it up out there in the world instead of playing this. So this is the second delay to this video game, and they have said, as part of the renewed focus on gameplay quality and engaging day one experiences, it has been decided to provide an additional month of development. So I think this is a bad sign. I think a lot of times nowadays video games come out in incomplete states. It is worthwhile to wait on it and possibly get it at a cheaper amount. Get it for a cheaper price later on and have a better, more fully fleshed out game. And there are many, many examples of that over the course of history. I think a lot of these companies need to show us the opposite for us to really start believing them, and I think that's going to be the case here. I would really say proceed with caution. I think this is going to be an okay video game. I think it would be really hard for it to be just a terrible video game, but thinking it's going to be something really innovative or creative or extra exciting for the Assassin's Creed franchise, I think is a little bit of a tall order. But in this game, they're touting you can become a lethal shinobi assassin and a powerful legendary samurai as you explore a beautiful open world in a time of chaos. Switch seamlessly between two unlikely allies as you discover their common destiny. Master complementary playstyles, create your shinobi league, customize your hideout, and usher in a new era for Japan. So the two assassin idea is pretty cool. There's definitely some cool stuff going on. The setting is extremely cool. And I don't know. Definitely this game has to be able to. This game's probably going to sell somewhat well, but I just don't know how. Like I'm saying, I don't know how creative or great it's going to be. But Assassin's Creed Shadows has now been delayed a month. Just seems like poor planning there to need one more month and to have to announce that and really switch things up. It just seems kind of arbitrary. And if they want to take 6 more months, take 6 more months or take a year. Release it during the holiday season if you really want to release a full game. I think that would be kind of like the bold move at this point. Would be for some company to do this, unless their game is just extremely trash, then get it out the door. If it's going to be trash later on, get it out the door. That's kind of probably how they think sometimes of this. But if you were really confident in your product, you'd be excited to get it out the door. You wouldn't be worried about moving it back. If you know you're going to give the world a great product, if you're just extremely confident, and that's I don't know. I think some of these games are missing that. But Assassin's Creed Shadow delayed. Kind of hard to believe, but it's only a month, so not the biggest deal in the world. Proceed with caution there is what I would say. A video game that's coming out soon this year that looks very cool is Monster Hunter Wilds. And the news here is that the open beta test 2 has been planned for February. This is the second chance to try out the evolved hunting experience, this time featuring an additional monster. So I think there's two sessions of this going maybe from February 6th to the 9th of 2025, the new year, and then February 13th through the 16th, I think is the 2 sessions from what I can take. This game, the full price game, is going to cost $69.99 US, and the full release is February 28th, 2025. So like a month and a half away from right now. In this game, excuse me one second. In this game, you play as professional monster hunter assigned to the Forbidden Lands Research Commission. You are tasked with protecting the balance of the ecosystem and hunting monsters. Use the resources you gain from hunts to craft ever more powerful weapons and armor in your quest to unravel the mysteries of the new lands. So this is a game I have my eye on. I haven't played a lot of Monster Hunter over the years. I've maybe only played a couple of hours of Rise and maybe a little bit of World. And I enjoyed it, but I just never got into it like many video games. But this one looks really like a great showcase for current graphics and things like that, and hopefully the gameplay's up to match and the online stuff's cool. I kind of think of this game a little bit more of a co-op game. Now, I don't necessarily play online games or co-op games that much anymore these days, and that is maybe one trepidation I have with this game, but it might be unwarranted and unfounded. I don't know, based on nothing, but who knows. But this is definitely a game I'm going to follow along with. It's going to be a big release and something that I hope is going to be a big success. Monster Hunter Wilds. And if you want to get in on the open beta test too, go search the internet now and you can do so. Getting prepared for February, unless all the spots have been reserved. Go check it out. All right, more video game news. Another video game that was kind of announced sort of recently, Elden Ring Nightreign. You can also register for some tests. You can register now for upcoming network test sessions that are taking place February 14th through the 17th. So help these developers, iron out some kinks and get a taste of these games that you're really excited for. So it's a good compromise and effort there on both sides. This test will be on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S only, it looks like, but the full game will also be available on PS4, Xbox One, and Steam. So I think that's pretty cool, pretty smart. This game, is co-op focused. So like my spiel with Monster Hunter Wilds, I don't know if that'll be right up my alley, but this is something I'm very interested in, seeing how it's going to be. I think this is a cool idea. I think this is kind of a bold idea to remix the Elden Ring kind of from soft formula just in the slightest way here. And I think it could be successful. So I think it's a smart idea. And this Elden Ring Nightreign, it's a standalone adventure within the Elden Ring universe, crafted to bring a new gaming experience. Join forces with the other players to take on the creeping night and the dangers within, featuring 3-player co-op, uniquely skilled champions, and relentless threats. So very interesting, Elden Ring Nightreign. Register now for some upcoming network test sessions if you would like to do so. All right, another thing to put on your calendar, Xbox is having a developer direct. So maybe that's one I will talk over as well. I've been talking to, I mentioned that earlier. So that's something else I'll put on the list here. Maybe I will talk over this Xbox Developer Direct on January 23rd, 2025. It's happening at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So this would be something I'd have to watch later in the day and record myself and put it up. But I think that is the plan. Xbox Developer Direct is going to give an exclusive deep dive into some of the exciting games coming to Xbox in 2025. Some games mentioned: Doom: The Dark Ages, South of Midnight, and Clair Obscur Expedition 33. So nothing there I'm too particularly excited for. I'm really not excited to. I don't have hope that they're going to show off anything that's going to be exciting to me, but I am interested in the news and seeing what's going to be going on. And I guess I'm excited for the potential of an announcement, but I feel like I've been let down by these. I don't know. I guess Indiana Jones has been pretty cool, and I played some of that, but there hasn't been too much excitement for me on the Xbox front in a while here. All right, but the Xbox Developer Direct is coming up on January 23rd of this month. All right, one of the rumors going around the rumor mill that has been rumored and then debunked, so all this is alleged. Who knows if any of this is true, but just a quick mention, there was a rumor out there that Xbox Prime, a new Xbox console, was going to be released in 2026. I think there was some talk that a new Call of Duty would be announced alongside of it, and this has just been a random rumor. And then another insider allegedly has come out and said this rumor is not true in any way. But I don't know if there's really too much to be said here. I don't think I would necessarily want a new Xbox for any reason in 2026. The Series X and S and PS5 came out in 2020. It's still a little bit early in the life cycle of these consoles, but we've seen PS5 do a refresh that seems universally panned as unnecessary. So you think Xbox would be learning that lesson and maybe just preparing for their next major console, whatever it may be. And I think they've even said, hey, we're not doing a half step. That's why it's a little bit strange this Xbox Prime rumor is out there, but it might just be a rumor. But something fun to mention and just put on our radar and your radar, because maybe they will have a new box coming out sooner than we think, and who knows. But that's the rumor there with Xbox Prime. It was a rumor and now it's been shot down, but who knows, maybe it could be true. All right, something else that's official, that's been officially announced by Sony. We're in the Sony section of the show here now, is the PS5 Midnight Black Collection. So the pre-orders are available for this starting in the upcoming week, January 16th, 2025, on the great friend of the show, King Tut's birthday, so a great day. And this collection will be available on February 20th, 2025, so only about a month later, or a little over a month later. And this is giving Sony fans a new DualSense Edge, which comes in $199.99 US, a PlayStation Portal, $199.99 US. The DualSense Edge is the fancy controller. The PlayStation Portal is kind of the cloud-based handheld. The Pulse Elite headset is coming in at $149.99 US, and that is guess it's the like over the ears headset. I think it's wired possibly. And then there's a Pulse Explorer, $199.99 US dollar variant. The Pulse Explorer wireless like headset earbud. So four new items getting the Midnight Black treatment: the DualSense Edge, the PlayStation Portal, the Pulse Elite headset, and the Pulse Explorer earbuds, all getting the Midnight Black paint to them. Each Midnight Black accessory features a unique, rich shade of black with sleek detailing on various buttons and accents such as the PlayStation logo. So some cool looking stuff. It's nice if you're in the market for one of these new accessories. You'll have the option to buy a black one now if you want to do so, and I think that is cool. So the Sony PS5 Midnight Black Collection pre-order in the upcoming week and available on February 20th, 2025. So CES has been going on. CES 2025, which they tout themselves as the most powerful tech event in the world, the global stage for innovation, connecting the world and creating the future. It's held in Las Vegas annually, and a lot of news in this midsection has come out of CES this week. So I wanted to make sure I knew what was going on with CES. So that is the case. It was happening over there in Vegas, and one of the things that came out of that was, I don't know if this is true, but it just seems far-fetched to me, but maybe it's true. Sony was showing off Smell-O-Vision, so immersive proof of concept entertainment experience that lets players step into the world of PlayStation games such as The Last of Us and see, shoot, and even smell the baddies. So this seems like this would be like an Onion article or something fake, but apparently was going on at CES. So something that I am not in the market for. I cannot imagine I would want to be smelling something created by a video game. But maybe I'm just an old man. Maybe this is the future of video games, but it just seems very wild to me. It seems very unnecessary. Who would want to willingly smell something disgusting just on the basis of a video game? That seems ridiculous. So, but Sony apparently was showing this off at CES. So just a wild thing, and I wanted to tell you about it. Something else shown off at CES was the Hyperkin, the competitor controller. So this was shown off at CES 2025, a new DualSense style Xbox controller. So just think in your mind the form factor of a DualSense, but it has like the buttons and the branding of an Xbox controller. It's a wild thing. So if you love playing on the Xbox, but you just love the DualSense controller, this is the option for you. It's for Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC. There's been no price reveal. I saw someone speculating it might be around like the $70 to $100 range. So nothing like an Elite controller, but just, kind of around the standard price, but maybe a little more expensive as a controller. But no price reveal, and later this year for the release is what they said. So Hyperkin is a company that makes a lot of controllers and accessories and stuff. And this is a cool, kind of crazy idea. So Hyperkin, the competitor controller, go check that out. It's coming out later this year, apparently. All right, Sony. So we're talking about Sony. What else is going on with them? They've been announcing some stuff at CES, but it's mainly been some TV and movies. So just some quick hitters here. Helldivers is becoming a movie. Horizon Zero Dawn is becoming a major motion picture from Columbia Pictures and PlayStation Productions. Ghost of Tsushima anime is coming from Crunchyroll and Aniplex. I can't say I'm a big TV or movie watcher, so this is not too much interest to me. But just shows that Sony is expanding themselves, taking some of these popular franchises and doing some different things with them. And, who knows, maybe it'll help out the video games in some way. But, some news there from Sony. All right, let's get into some tech news here. A little bit of hit the Geek Squad at the Best Buy here with some news, but some pretty cool stuff going on out there in the world, and I want to tell you about it. So NVIDIA, the GeForce, NVIDIA's next-gen GPUs, their graphics processing units are preparing for launch. So NVIDIA has announced some new GPUs, and these have been announced at CES 2025. There have been 4 new SKUs announced. The 5070, which comes in at $549 US, the 5070 Ti, $749, the 5080, $999, and the 5090, the biggest GPU on the block from NVIDIA, coming in at $1,999, so $2,000 for a 5090. Availability is starting in January. If you're looking to upgrade for your PC, you got some new power going on here. I just have a laptop over here, so nothing I'm in the market for, but an exciting announcement nonetheless. I think some people were saying the prices are nice here, that the prices are kind of, not that $2,000 is inexpensive, but some of these options here are becoming more affordable than they have in the past, and I think that is a good thing, sounds like to me. Have more people get some PCs built out here. Maybe one day I'll even be building a PC myself. You never know. So that's some news. NVIDIA has the new line of their next-gen GPUs coming out, available in January. Also, HDMI version 2.2 has been announced at CES 2025. So here's some tech news for you. They're touting 12K resolution and up to 120 frames per second, better supporting content at 4K 60 frames per second resolutions and above, and new latency indication protocol, or LIP, as we say in the biz. Apparently, I'm going to say that 9 million times a show, to improve audio and data synchronization. So, just some tech news here. HDMI version 2.2 has been announced. So, onward and forward with some of these great technologies. All right, let's get into a few more things here in the midsection to talk about. These were all announced at CES 2025. These are some handhelds. So there have been some, handheld PCs out there on the market for a bit now, and they're definitely, I think they've been successful, and they're making some sequels. So the Lenovo Legion Go 2 has been announced, or it's been confirmed that it's in development. And a tentative release window is set for the end of 2025, so you don't have to wait that long. The original Legion Go came out in 2023. You can get a current Legion Go right now. I think they're starting at $699 US dollars, and you can experience handheld gaming perfection with console-level performance and graphics, a super vivid touchscreen display, controls that will keep you up at the top of the leaderboards, and so much more. So a cool option, a little bit akin to a Steam Deck. I would be interested in buying one of these if they weren't so expensive, I think, and it would just be more of a niche product for me. But I think this would be I think these are cool things to have out there on the market, and something I'm definitely interested in, and I'm excited that more and more options are coming to the forefront here with this handheld PC gaming going on out there. So the Lenovo Legion Go 2, you can get that later this year, and more details to come on that. And then they have also announced the Lenovo Legion Go S. So the Go S is a lighter model that doesn't have the removable controllers of the original, but Go S has a form factor more like the Asus, I don't know how that's how you say it, but the ROG Ally X or the Steam Deck. So something maybe a little more user-friendly on the size. The Go S with Windows is coming January 2025 for $729 US dollars. And then some news here that the Go S is coming with Steam operating system May 2025, and that's going to be $499 US dollars. So Lenovo is currently the only other partner for SteamOS device. But then Steam has come out, or Valve has come out and said that SteamOS is going to be expanding beyond Steam Deck. So they are working to improve compatibility with other platforms. They have built this operating system to provide a seamless user experience optimized for gaming while retaining access to the power and flexibility of a PC. So the SteamOS is the same operating system they run on Steam Deck. The Lenovo Legion Go S is going to be the first handheld officially licensed to ship with Valve's SteamOS, but they're saying that there is more to come there, so that's exciting. And it seems like people like the SteamOS. I would say if I wanted to buy one of these handheld PCs, I would go for the Steam Deck. That's one that's been kind of on my wish list for a while here. But with the upcoming release of the Switch 2, the Switch 2 is going to be able to play more third-party stuff and boost up some old games on there, make it run a little more like a PC, or some of these games that these Steam Decks can run and things like that, and then also have Nintendo games on them. I think that might solve my issue. So for the sake of simplicity, I think the potential Switch 2 could answer solve all my issues here with wanting to have a Steam Deck to be able to play some more of these third-party games or a little bit beefier things that these Switch can't currently run. So I just really like that all these options are out here. It makes researching this stuff fun, the potential for buying this stuff fun, and just having the options and thinking about how you want to game and where you want to do it. There's just becoming more and more options, and I think that's a cool thing, and that's why I'm here telling you about it. So that's been kind of all the news I have for you this week. It's been a lot of news. Just to recap it a little bit here at the end of the midsection, we talked about Switch 2 rumors. We talked about the Lego Game Boy. We talked about Splatoon 3 has the Frosty Fest going on this weekend. We talked about Assassin's Creed Shadows getting delayed a month until March 20th, 2025. Monster Hunter Wilds has an open beta coming up, open beta test 2. Elden Ring has some upcoming network tests, Elden Ring Nightreign. So get in on those if you want to, if you're listening to this podcast in real time. Xbox Developer Direct is coming up January 23rd. Xbox Prime rumor out there. It seems a little bit unfounded. The Sony PS5 Midnight Black Collection available for pre-order in this upcoming week and available in the middle of February. Sony might be having smell vision in one of their games in the future. We talked about the Hyperkin, the competitor controller. We talked about Sony announcing some TV and movies. We talked about NVIDIA's new graphics processing units coming out. The GPUs, we talked about HDMI version 2.2, we talked about Lenovo Legion Go 2, we talked about Lenovo Legion Go S, we talked about SteamOS in general. So a whole bunch of news. Thank you to CES 2025 for providing a lot of great tech news and information this week. And I'll be back next week with all the video game news and information that you need to know in this middle section, as always. Because because that is what the middle section of this show is here to do. So if you want to call it mid, joke's on you. It's a great section of the show. So I'm going to wrap up this mid section. Going to come back for the final section of the show, the miscellaneous talk section, and get into the worldwide world of sports. So you get a break from the video game talk. You get to listen and go along with me on my journey of sports fandom, and I'll tell you about what's going on with my favorite teams, and it's going to be good as always. So thank you for listening, and come back for the final section of this show after this. Welcome back to the final section of the best show you'll ever know, the Dep Lewis Show, episode 111. This is the miscellaneous talk section where I can talk about anything I want to outside the video game world. So, as always, I want to get into the worldwide world of sports. And my favorite NFL team, the Carolina Panthers, they have ended another season. And you know how they ended it? They ended it last weekend at the Falcons with a win in overtime, 44-38. So way to go, Panthers. They hit the over. Friend of the show, Pab, lost his bet. He bet the Panthers would be under 4.5 wins. And guess what? The Panthers got 5 wins, and they got some hope going into next year. So in this game, Bryce was 25 for 34, 251 yards, 3 passing touchdowns. Also 5 rushes, 24 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. Unbelievable. Bryce, number 1 Panther. I'm a Bryce fan. I'm a Bryce guy. Bryce Young, quarterback of the century, quarterback of the Panthers. The Cam Newton level, Bryce Young going in. That's my guy, Bryce Young. So much fun to watch. So much fun to see him balling out like this. And I'm excited for next season. So in this game also, Miles Sanders had 17 carries for 66 yards and 1 rushing touchdown. Also caught 3 passes for 50 yards and a receiving touchdown. So a little bit of stuff going on there. There's a lot of questions if Miles Sanders is going to come back next year. I think he's owed $5 million that he might want to use elsewhere. But showing some production here in the last game without Chuba out there, who's kind of sit the last 2 games out, but had an injury, no reason to risk it. Jalen Coker was the leading receiver with 7 catches and 62 yards. A giant bright spot from this season, Jalen Coker. Damani Richardson, number 36, led the team with 10 total tackles. Chandler Wooten, number 57, second in tackles with 9. Chandler Wooten, I hope he is around next year. He's really been balling out for them in the later half of the season with I guess, getting some opportunity out there. But he's been in the top of the tackles each week out there, and just watching him on the field, he stands out too. So Chandler Wooten, I hope he's around with the Panthers next year. So that's the end of the season for the Panthers. So on the Bryce Young hype train, I think he's catapulted up there, the number 1 Panther right now, my current favorite Panther on the team, and might even see me rocking the number 9 jersey before next season. So I'm excited for a good offseason. I don't know what the Panthers are going to do. I hope they can get some decent guys in the draft, maybe get some defensive guys, maybe get a new receiver in the mix, but I really like some of these guys. We got Xavier Legette. Hopefully he can be stepping up. We got Jalen Coker balling out. Adam Thielen, I hope, can stick around. David Moore, I hope he's around. He's been really valuable to them in this season. So some really good stuff. We got some good tight end production finally happening. So there's some good stuff going on out here. And Bryce Young has been fun to watch. So maybe he can be one of the top quarterbacks in the league and really pull the Panthers up by their bootstraps and bring them along with them or whatever. Bryce really seeming like he could be special out there, and it's been fun to watch. It's been fun to watch him throw the ball, be accurate with it, him to take the shots, hit the checkdowns, and him to move his feet. So it's been really, really fun to watch. And he threw a touchdown where he did a no-look. He turned around before the touchdown actually occurred and threw his hands up in the air. And if that is not a sign for some confidence, then I don't know what else is. It's akin to the Steph Curry shots in the NBA. So just extremely exciting to watch. People were comparing him to Steph Curry when he was coming out of the draft, and he's showing a little bit of it there. Like that's some extreme confidence, and it's exactly what you need, I guess, in a quarterback. Or it's a great thing to have. So way to go, Bryce Young. Extremely fun close out of the season, and giving the Panthers fans hope out here. I hope is what's going on. So on to 2025 for the Panthers. They finished 5-12. Didn't make the playoffs. That's all bad news. And the Panthers will pick 8th overall in the 2025 NFL draft. So hopefully can get somebody very valuable for the team in that slot. So thanks for a great season, Panthers. It's fun to follow along, whether you win or lose. It's more fun to follow along when you win. And it is way more fun to follow along when you feel like you have a quarterback. So, been spoiled with having Cam Newton, one of my favorite players of all time. And then hopefully Bryce Young can be the next one to, have a long career with the Panthers and, lead them to some success, have them in the mix. And hopefully next year can be competing for the division. That would be kind of the hope. The Bucs are tough. The Saints have been a little bit down. And the Falcons, I guess they've been kind of mediocre, but nothing unbelievable there. If the Panthers can get a few more wins, they can be in the mix here. And I think this offseason, obviously they can be awesome, they can be terrible, we don't know. But I think they're in a good spot going into this offseason. And I'm excited to see what happens with the Carolina Panthers next year. So, thanks to the Panthers, all the Panthers, for all their hard work, all their plays out there on the field, all the games, everything, and all the great content. And it was fun to watch over here as a fan. So go Panthers. All right, so some more sports news. What's going on in the basketball world? Well, neither one of my teams has been doing too good. Charlotte Hornets, I'm a halfway fan since I am a North Carolina resident. Now, last Sunday, the Hornets lost to the Cavaliers, 105-115. On Tuesday, the Hornets beat Phoenix, which was pretty awesome. That was in Charlotte, and they won pretty handily there. And I watched some of that game on TV, and it was they were really clicking on a lot of fronts there. So it was really cool to watch. I think the Suns are a little bit on a downswing, maybe have some chemistry stuff going on with all the potential trade talk. So a good time to sneak a win. But if you get a win and have a little momentum on your side, that's a good thing. So the Hornets actually won that game this past Tuesday against Phoenix, and then their next two games were scheduled in Los Angeles for Thursday and Saturday. Both of those games have been postponed due to the fires going on out there, which are very tragic and terrible. So T's and P's to everyone in California going through that. And with houses have been burned down, buildings been burned down, schools, all sorts of stuff. People have lost their lives. So definitely an appropriate time to postpone a basketball game. So those two games have been postponed in LA. And then Sunday, the Hornets actually play in Phoenix today. And then next week coming up for the Hornets is Utah and Chicago. So a pretty light week for the Hornets. Hopefully they can get a win against Phoenix again. That'd be nice. And then get some momentum going into a short week though. The Hawks, last Tuesday, the Hawks were at Utah. The Hawks won 124-121, which they should have. Thursday at Phoenix, the Hawks lost 115-123, so no good there, Hawks. Yesterday, the Hawks were supposed to play Houston, but that game was postponed, and I guess that one is more because of maybe inclement weather on the icy side, maybe the snow. It was there was a winter storm going on around the United States this end of the week here. So that's kind of my guess there for why it got canceled. I don't know if the game was in Houston or Atlanta, but I know Atlanta got some snow, kind of more so than they normally do, and that would make kind of more sense why that game was postponed. But next week the Hawks are at the Suns, or playing the Suns, playing the Bulls, and playing the Celtics. So that's all the basketball news going on there. A little bit of disruption for some, Mother Nature out there doing different things and causing some disruptions, and T's and P's to everyone who's been affected by that. All right, the last bit of sports talk for this week is the Atlanta Braves. Nothing going on with them, really. It's the offseason. They have signed left-handed pitcher Dylan Lee to a one-year, $1 million contract for 2025, so bringing Dylan Lee back. And they've also signed outfielder Jared Kelenic to a one-year, $2 million contract for 2025. So nothing there too eye-popping to look at. Decent guys that have been on the team, getting them back at an inexpensive price, ultimately, in baseball standards, and not having the long-term contract or anything in there. So seems like a fair deal on both sides, and we will see what they have to produce for the Braves. So nothing too exciting there in terms of big signings or trades or anything going on with the Braves. They're pretty much running it back with their same squad, down a few guys and hoping to get some guys back healthy. So I can't really say the squad has improved over this offseason. So I think that is kind of rough as a Braves fan. But the first game of the regular season is March 27, 2025 at the Padres, and I am excited for that beyond measure. The only MLB news, we've had some pretty hot MLB news the last couple of weeks, but the only thing to report this week from the MLB overall on a free agency front is the Reds have acquired Gavin Lux from the Dodgers for a draft pick and outfield prospect, and then Verlander has gone to the Giants on a one-year, $15 million deal. So just a couple things going down there with Gavin Lux moving teams, which is pretty interesting. And then Verlander, the wily vet, getting some more mills, $15 million in the bank to go play out there on the West Coast. So, love the baseball. My favorite sport in the universe, and I am excited for, March whenever that comes around. A couple months away, we still got some winter months to go through. Now we have no football, or I don't have any Panthers football to watch. My NBA teams aren't doing so hot. The Hawks have the slightest bit of hope going on this season, but I'm a little bit in the dark times of my sports fandom. Really just kind of waiting on the Braves and, hoping some competitive stuff goes on here with the college football playoffs and the NFL playoffs. So that's some pretty exciting stuff going on, though. There are some NFL games going on today, which is exciting, and hopefully can hit some parlays over there. If you're gambling, please gamble responsibly. But not too many more football games to gamble on this year. and then really going to be in the sports drought because NBA has been a rough thing to gamble, and it might be something that I'm going to put away. So just pass on the NBA gambling and kind of just take a little break, I guess, until the baseball season. So who knows, but the gambling's fun. Please gamble responsibly. So that's been everything I have to tell you about here in the miscellaneous talk section. The journey through all what's going on with my favorite sports teams. So we talked about the Panthers, we talked about the Hornets, the Hawks, and the Atlanta Braves, and then some MLB news in general. So that's going to wrap up this miscellaneous talk section, and that's going to wrap up the entire show in general. So I want to reiterate some promotional talk from the beginning. Please follow Dep Lewis Show everywhere. Full episodes of Dep Lewis Show available anywhere you can find a podcast. Find the best place to subscribe and listen weekly. Places like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, YouTube, Amazon Music, and more. Twitch.tv/Dep Lewis Show is a great place to follow. If you'd like to support the show even further than just listening, Patreon.com/Dep Lewis Show is available if you'd like to subscribe monthly. Also, Venmo at Dep Lewis Show is available any day, anytime, for any amount if you would like to support the show. And just thank you for listening. I think in this upcoming week, it should just be kind of a normal week for me. Playing some more of the same games I've been playing. Maybe we'll get some more Switch 2 rumors. And have some football happening this weekend. So hopefully today, if you're listening in real time, watch some football. Hopefully you're not too chilly out there in the world. T's and P's to everyone in California and anywhere else in the world that needs a T and a P. Thoughts and prayers to you. And just thank you for being a Dep Lewis Show listener. I hope you have a wonderful week out there in the world, if possible. I hope you have some fun. I hope you go on vacation. I hope you get a raise. I hope you hit the lottery. I hope you see a cute dog. And I hope something great. I hope you get a new video game. I hope you get a new console. And just hope you have a great week out there in the world. And I also hope you come back and listen to another episode of Dep Lewis Show next week, because that's where I'll be. Thank you for listening, and I will see you next time on the Dep Lewis Show. Have a great week.